What responsibility do companies have when outsourcing production to developing nations? Here's the big picture on that. Goldie Hyder is president of Hill & Knowlton Strategies. Erin Weir is economist with the United Steelworkers. And Erin, maybe we'll start with you. It strikes me that this story stirs up a huge amount of consumer guilt. And one of the issues is that it is very difficult sometimes to vote with your wallet the way we would all like to, because the issue is so complicated. You know that in some parts of the developing world, these are jobs that are really helping move people to the middle class, and they're a great thing. And then there are these other parts of the world where the conditions are just too terrible to be tolerated. And so where does that leave the consumer?
Well, if these corporations want to talk about corporate social responsibility, then as consumers and as citizens, we should expect them to uphold meaningful labor standards throughout their supply chain. The most effective way to enforce safety protections is to empower workers by allowing them to participate in independent unions. So corporate social responsibility should include a commitment to recognize unions and form joint labor management, health and safety committees in the workplace.
If I were able to change laws, that conversation would put him in jail. That is outrageous. That is insane. What's this have to do with unions? Erin, just to prove that I'm an equal opportunity abuser, I want to ask you why you think having a union in the Bangladeshi situation would have changed anything.
Well, in this situation, there was clearly a problem with the building. As I understand it, government inspectors provided a warning. Other businesses operating in that same structure actually closed down for the day, but the owner of these garment factories insisted that the workers come in. If there was a stronger union presence there, workers would have been much better able to stand up to that pressure and refuse to do unsafe work, which is a really fundamental labor right.
These are not, Erin, the workers who have the power to unionize right now. So it seems as though help is needed from outside. I mean, there's all kinds of extreme possibilities you could throw out there. You could have the Canadian government say that they're going to demand proof of conditions before they allow a Canadian company to import cheap goods from abroad. I'm just throwing that out as an idea, but is there something else that we should be doing at a political level from our side of the ocean to fix this?
Yeah, I think this situation does speak to a broader debate about how a deregulated international trading system can create a race to the bottom in which countries compete by lowering labor and environmental standards, and that hurts workers everywhere. We want to facilitate trade based on what economists call comparative advantage, allowing countries to specialize in producing the things that they make most efficiently. But we want to prevent countries from creating an unfair competitive advantage by undercutting internationally recognized labor and environmental standards. One thing we could do is design a special tariff on goods that are produced in violation of those standards.
So isn't Erin exactly the problem, talking about special tariffs, blocking trade? Unions do a lot of damage, and that's probably why we have a lot of people, and you touched on this earlier, moving their production offshore to where they're not burdened by the evils and dark, sinister ways of unions.
Well, as I said, Bangladesh is pretty evil. I mean,
well,
let's think about it.
Well, I'm not sure that unions would have solved this problem. This is in part, and this is risky territory acknowledged, but change takes time. Cultural change takes time. Okay, we can't overnight change these societies in terms of the challenges that they face. You pointed out yourself, this is part of their journey up from being impoverished countries to being, given opportunities to get educated, and then from that comes these demands. Remember, we were outsourcing recently to China and India. Turns out China and India are re-outsourcing to Bangladesh and Vietnam because it's to Erin's point, people are responding to low cost, and consumers are wanting that. So you can't have it both ways, and I think this whole episode shows the struggle between those competing values. People are not talking with their money, Danielle. They're continuing to look for, best product, cheapest price.
All right, Goldie, thank you very much. And Erin, thanks also for this. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.